Welcome to Hacking Self-Storage. It is Wednesday morning, and what we do on Wednesdays is, I don't know, we just go through stuff that I found interesting. I do an ungodly amount of reading, learning, educating myself, because I feel like that's my secret weapon. So I'm very, very lucky to be able to do that with my time. And so what I want to do is share some of those learnings, coachings, whatever, I don't know. And something that I've been looking at recently is building businesses and looking at people who build businesses and how they build empires. Because as you know, I want to grow. And if you listen to this, I'm guessing that you probably want to grow as well, your business. And by the way, if you don't want to grow a business as well, it's absolutely fine. I had a friend today, actually, was talking, he's doing some work around my house, and he knows about this new site we're up, and he goes to me, Dean, are you sure it's the right time? Are you sure it's the right time? And he got me thinking, because I've gone through the numbers, as you can imagine. I've gone through the numbers of best case, absolute worst case, and it's still a bloody good deal. It still returns over 30% ROI. I will share with you exactly all the numbers, all the figures in a future episode, but obviously I can't yet because we're still at heads of terms. It's not officially done yet, so I want to make sure it's all signed, sealed, delivers, and I'll go through all the numbers. And so it got me thinking about you've just got to do you, because am I happy staying with 3 sites? No, I'm definitely not happy staying with 3 sites. I'm not doing it for any monetary gains or anything like that, because we are good now. We are good. Could we have a great standard of living just as we are now? Of course we could. But for me, I want more than that. I'm not content. I'm never content. And so I want to keep progressing and keep going forward. And so I've been looking and learning and looking and watching other people who've built big businesses and how they've done it. And I came across something that I want to share with you guys today, because I thought it was quite profound. I thought it was really, really good. And it's from Russell Brunson. Russell Brunson owns ClickFunnels. Some people absolutely love him. And some people don't like some of his marketing. I don't know. I personally think he's an absolute marketing genius, a god, whether you like him or don't. I think he's absolutely brilliant and somebody you can learn off as well. He's very, very. Oh, just 1 second. Yeah, sorry, my son was banging on the window for some reason, so I was like, "What are we doing?" He knows I'm recording as well, so I thought it must be serious. But he just wanted to play football with me. So onto Russell Brunson. I think he's fantastic. I love him. The reason why I think he gets some bad press is because of the people that see the disciples of him seem to be people who want quick wins, overnight wins, because obviously he's marketing. He's such a marketing genius, and ClickFunnels is such a great platform that it seems to attract these get rich quick people. And as you know, self-storage, it doesn't get you rich quick. It gets you wealthy long term, but will never ever get you rich quick. Anyway, so he said, because his business is massive, absolutely huge business, incredible. He's done it all. He hasn't been VC backed whatsoever. He has done incredibly well. He's documented the whole journey. It's so fascinating to listen to him. And on his podcast the other day, he mentioned about what you need to grow a business. I was like, oh, this is perfect for me. This is perfect. Because obviously I want to grow a business. I want to get new sites, but I've also want the infrastructure, because it's got to be, there's no point in scaling and having loads and loads of growing pains and us end up going backwards because we scale too fast. And so I need to get the infrastructure around me, supporting and supporting us as a company. And then once we've got the foundations right, we can build, we can go. And so one of the worst things I can do is scale too fast. Now, as many of you know my journey, we've been open now for nearly 7 years now at Willoughby, and we've been open for 10 plus years at Beverley. So Beverley paid for itself, and then we opened Willoughby. Willoughby obviously over £1 million, so it took a long time to pay for itself. And then we've opened Clough Road, and now Clough Road seems to be on it. So it seems to be doing fantastically well. 4 reservations today. I'm recording this on Tuesday evening, which has been fantastic. So now I can now focus some more money and more resources somewhere else. So we're building organically. We're taking on a lot of debt, but it's manageable debt. Anyway, right, let's go with it. So Russell Brunson said you need 3 personality traits. I'm all about personality. I can coach your skills, but I can't coach your personality. I can't coach your ethics. I can't coach what you think is right and wrong. I can't coach how you show up on a day-to-day basis in your personal life, your work life. I can't change that. I can't change them fundamentals. And you know what? If I work with someone long enough, I probably could make inroads into it. But I want to hire people who have the same ethics, work, beliefs, everything as me. And I don't mean beliefs as spiritual or religion. I just mean how we show up as people and how we help people. And so when he started talking about personality types, I was like, oh, brilliant, this is me. So you need 3 personality types to have a successful business. I was like, tell me more. So you need, number 1, somebody who is obsessed. And by the way, first of all, when you're first starting out, this is you. This is you. But as you grow and scale, you no longer have to do all these 3. You can get people who are better and better placed in certain ones of these. Right. So you need somebody who is obsessed with the product. I'll go through these. I'll go through these one by one and explain what I believe are meaning for self-storage in a minute. Right. So number 1, obsessed with a product person. Number 2, obsessed with marketing. Love that. That's me. That's me all over. Number 3, obsessed with operations. If you have all 3, your business cannot fail to grow. I'm like, love it. Absolutely love it. So obsessed with a product. So for me, self-storage, what product is it? It's space. It's maximizing the space of a warehouse. It's how it looks. The best person, I realized how far off I am on this when I talked to this one individual when he came down to see Clough Road site. I was like, holy shit, he's next level. And yeah, it's Fred Formatic. He was by far and away the most intelligent conversation I've ever had. Excuse me, on the product, on the self-storage, on the space, how we operate, and just like stupid little things like the hose. He goes, oh, what we've done here, not a fire hose, the fire extinguisher. Oh, what we've done here, we've done this and we've done this. And I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then we go around the corner. He said, oh, Dean, you see the way they've laid the metal here. They haven't done the metal quite correctly. You should really have them back because it needs to be flush. And I'm like, fucking hell, I didn't even notice that. Went around the whole place, and every little thing he was saying to me, I was like, it was taking away a little bit of my soul, thinking how good I thought I was until I met him. And he's like, Dean, you see this place here? Listen, you can actually get 15 square foot units here, lockers. You could do this, you could do that, you could do that. And then let's say that makes an extra £5,000 a year. Then that means, times by 10 multiple, you're talking that you're leaving on the table 50 grand just here. I'm like, shit. Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Yeah. Right. That's a 50 grand mistake. I'm like, oh, holy shit. And he goes, the layout. Why have you done this? Why have you done this? This is a massive, massive mistake because you could have got another 75 square foot unit in here if you just done this and this and this. I'm like, oh my God. And they started telling me about, why don't you have all your big units together and your small units together? I don't know why people don't do that. I was like, holy shit, this guy is obsessed with a product. And so that's what you need to be that. Now, I'm obsessed with a product to a certain extent that I can get away with it. But once I saw that level of obsessiveness, and I realized that I've always got to learn. I've always got to keep growing. So that's obsessive with a product. How can we maximize the revenue? How can we maximize? I don't mean revenue. How can we allow the product to make the most for us? So that's what I mean by obsessed with the product. Obsessed with marketing. That's me. That is me. I don't know what I'm doing. A little dance for. I'm obsessed with marketing. How we can get our quotes, how we can talk to our customers, how our quotes come in, what levers to pull when it's doing a little bit worse. I'm obsessed with it. SEO, pay-per-clicks, you name it, traffic. I'm all over it. I'm going to do an episode, I think, on Friday about something that happens all the time in the e-commerce space, but it doesn't happen in the self-storage space. And why? Because we don't have to be that bloody good to make and live in self-storage. And I have fallen foul of this as well. E-commerce, I do this all the time. I make sure I'm on it. I know exactly, I'm tracking how many visitors to my website all the time because I've got a little e-commerce business as well. And I'm tracking it all the time. However, in self-storage, I'm not tracking that metrics. And why? Don't know. The reason is because I don't need to, because we're good. We're already, I believe we're one of the best operators around. So therefore, I don't need to be any better. And then all of a sudden, someone said to me, why are you tracking that? I'm like, oh, I should be, but I just don't need to. And that, but I'll do an episode on that on Friday because I think it'll be a good one. And it's something that we'll start tracking and we'll start telling people about now. Every single Monday and Tuesday, we'll start telling you exactly visitors to our websites and stuff. So obsessed with marketing. So you need somebody obsessed with marketing, because if you don't have the marketing, if you don't have the people coming to the door and wanting to buy your product, whatever it may be, then you can't you're not going to ever sell enough, are you? You're not going to get the orders in. So you need someone to be obsessed with marketing to make sure they get the quotes, get the traffic, get the eyeballs on whatever you're doing. Number 3, obsessed with operations. I used to be obsessed with operations, and now I've handed a lot of this over to Angela and James. And what we do now is we discuss it. And so operations, it might be your sales process. It might be all your systems, all your procedures. We've got Trainial. And what we do is write down every little thing. So if anybody comes into, if say for example, Angela leaves tomorrow, I know that it's wrote down every little thing that she does on a day-to-day basis and how to do it in a detailed manner. It's fantastic. It just gives me a little bit of comfort knowing that's there, the operational. And did I like doing it? No, that's why I handed it to Angela to do. So Angela's done most of it. We've talked about the sales process. We've gone through it. And so we know how to train people now. So I believe that Angela now is obsessed with the operations. I like the operations. I like the systems and procedures, but from an aerial standpoint now, from an aerial view, I like to look down on it. For example, I want to know the sales process. What does the sales process look like? The customer journey on the website. How do we get the customer to go from A to quote and get their details? How do we do that? And can we do that more often? So I'm more obsessed with that. And so the operations for me is key. How do we operate within the business? You have to have somebody who can do that, because otherwise, if you could be climbing the wrong ladder, there's no point racing to the top of a ladder if you realize it's a wrong ladder. And if you have good operations and if you have good systems and procedures, then all written down, documented, then people won't be climbing the wrong ladder. They'll be all going in the same direction. We're all pushing the same direction because we know how to operate the company as a whole. Right, I think that's basically it. I've just seen here as well. I want to do a podcast about leverage as well, from Alex Harmozy. This was when I was away in Devon. I learned about this. This is absolutely fantastic from Alex Harmozy. Brilliant. And then I'm going to talk about a bull market as well. We're going to talk about people who are F players right now. There's so many. I don't mean to be condescending to people, but there's so many F players in self-storage, so many, but they think they're A players because it's good. Well, we can already see the reports are from America. What I'm getting on my masterminds and the calls I'm having from America is that it is slowing down in America, and this has been one of the slowest summers that they've had on record, and that is worrying for us. But what can we do about it? What can we do? How can we make sure that we aren't going to be negatively impacted? And that's just all we can do is make sure we're better at our job, make sure we're better at doing what we're doing. So the people who are F players will find out who's the F players and who's the A players. Hopefully, I think I'm an A player. Let's see what happens when the market, when the bad times happen, when it slows down somewhat. I don't think the bad times are around the corner or anything like that in terms of really bad times, but I do think the economy, I do think the self-storage industry will slow down because we've had a massive boost with COVID, and eventually it will slow down. It will go back to normal levels or just a little bit below for a little bit because of the economic climate. Who knows? But we've got to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And I think that we have to up-level our skill set, but we'll go into that in another episode. All right, my friends, I love you. I appreciate you. And I am going to go and play football with the child. All right, guys, girls, love you. I appreciate you. Bye.